All right, guys, good morning. This is going to be my last video for this rule set before it hopefully gets put on the forge here soon. Just kind of waiting for access. And so um, I wanted to go over two things. I wanted to go over ships, how that's implemented in the rule set, because that's maybe not as intuitive because it's something new. And then I just kind of wanted to give a disclaimer. So if I go and I open a new character, it looks the same, but it doesn't function the same way. So I want everybody to just forget how you had to do things before. So like you had to, enter all this data. There were no weapons in the sidebar. You kind of had to right click it, right? So we don't want to do that anymore. So, to add a weapon, you simply come over here and you find a weapon and you add the club and you equip it and it appears, okay? And it sets it up properly and you can see there's a record there. Okay, same thing with careers. If we want to add a career, we can just drop it in there, right? A lot of the automation that was there is still there. I've added different automation. Boons, you can obviously still right click it, but why do that when you can drag it? And so you have all these records, even built spell records in here, okay? What I did was in the reference manual, I included an example of each type of spell because there are no spells in the book. And it's all automated. So like if I take this that first magnitude spell and I drop it on here and then I select it, it pops up and you can see it checked all of these because for the example I listed them all in there. Okay, like if I go and I take out intimate materials and then I were to cycle this, you can see it no longer checks it. Okay, I didn't automate the hard or the moderate. I did put it on here because like that can change, and so I want people to set that when they do their mind roll. Okay, so that's that. Even origins, you could take origins here and just drop them. Okay, so you don't have to like dead enter stuff, and then you have it on your character sheet. You can read all about it, right? So kind of nifty. Okay, so kind of what you expect from a Fantasy Grounds rule set. All right, let's look at ships. So I added this tab. So player is not on a ship, it's blank. The players embark on a ship. What you do is you go over to your ships menu, and you can see I added a sort here. These are just the generic ships. You could build all the ones you want. So this gives you a good example. So let's say they're on a medium war galley. And we can see it's all entered into here, all the stuff that they have. And if I take this and I drop it on there, it populates it. So all of this is rollable. It actually pulls from the career, so you can see the hunters listed there. If I actually go in here and I add another career, merchant, 5, and then I go to ships and I click it, the merchant now appears, right? And that helps with my task roll. As you can see, he's going to get a +5 there. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so he made his task roll. You could do hull repairs, crew repairs. This is like, bandaging your crew. These are all out of the book. All the attacks, they function with the use of a task roll, which is here, and then you actually can roll the ship damage. Okay, if players have missile weapons like javelins and bows, the rules talk about how you make a task roll, and then it's just a straight 1d6. And this is coded so that it'll damage the crew of a ship. So if you try to use a bow over here, first off, it may be 1d6H or 1d6L, which is not really in accordance with the rules, okay? If you do it over here, it'll apply properly and it's coded properly. So you're saying, well, what about if I want to homebrew a missile weapon? Okay, well, you just add it to the armaments, right? So you can see the armaments are coded. So like right here, it says hull, catapult rock hull, catapult rock crew, catapult rock fire. Okay, so what this does is so you could have catapults and you could direct it to the hull or you could direct it to the crew. So it's two different attacks, so they enter twice. Whereas fire does both at the same time. So if you want it both at the same time, it's blank, right? And I'll show you that. So we're going to give this guy a quick token. I always lose my CNC tokens. That's nice. We're going to call up Bill. I think I got some other guys on the combat tracker too. So we're going to add some people, get on, and we checked it out. So, okay, so a couple of things. So I'm on this Bill. Where is Bill? I just lost him. All right, so I'm on the medium war galley. All right, so let's do this. Now I'm going to delete this guy. So the next thing you do is you just take your ship and you drag it, okay? And then in this case it's friendly, okay? And on the client side, as soon as you make it identified or friendly, this little submenu right here pops up. The attacks don't, but this little submenu pops up. So what this is calling it hull, your crew wounds, and resources. Now, hull wounds is tied to this number, and you can see it actually is equal to the lifeblood. And the reason I did that is because on the client side, there's a status box, and what they'll see when a ship is sunk is that it's been destroyed, as opposed to dying. Okay, so it's kind of all works together, right? Okay, so if I want to, let's say I'm the GM, I'm going to be this guy, and I want to ram. So I do my task roll, and as a GM, you could do your task roll like that, no big deal. And then I do some ramming damage. Oops, that's the task roll again. Whoops. I'm going to do some ramming damage. Why do I keep grabbing the wrong thing? There we go. All right, grab the ram damage. Oh, it's doing it. My bad. It's the L. I was like, why is it grabbing 2d6? Okay, anyway, so you can see. So I did hull damage, and in this case I did 1 hull damage, and then here I did 4 hull damage, and then I did 2 hull damage, and you can see it's 7, and it drops the hull down. And so, you go through your turn, and then, you do your task roll, and you say you're going to do a catapult fire. Let's do a catapult fire on this guy. So I can, as Bill, I can target the ship, okay, or I can drag my dice and drop it on the ship. In this case, I'm going to target, so I'm going to roll fire, and watch, it's going to do hull and crew damage, as it should, right? Now, let's untarget him. Let's say the player says, oh, I'm going to try to screw everything up, and I'm going to throw this onto the K-Bear. All right. Well, it doesn't let you. Okay, so it says, nope, not going to do it. Here, he had wounds before, but I'll show you. All right, won't apply. All right, good, thank God. All right, and same thing, like if I try to attack the ship with my normal attack roll, you get this message. Here, let me type something there, show you again. Sometimes it's faster than my eyes. All right, so it says 3, but clearly that was already there, right? Okay, so now, you go through your attacks and you want to heal it. Okay, the same principle. So you can roll this targeted or untargeted. We got a whole repair roll, and let's say I repair this guy, I drop it on him, and you can see now if I want to repair his crew, let's give him some damage first. All right, so why did I do that? I don't know. All right, so we're going to do crew. All right, so I rolled a 1, and I drop it on here, and my crew improves, right? So anyways, so that's pretty much how ship combat works. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's ship-to-ship fighting only works on ship-to-ship fighting. Okay, it doesn't actually damage the NPCs or players on the ship. Now, if you had a villain on the ship and you boarded the ship and you wanted to attack, that would just be like your normal attacking, right? So anyways, kind of cool. So there's another thing called resources. You can see resources show up here. So how I did that was, the player declares that they're going to use their resources, and then they would just add the modifier box to the roll, right? So if I make my task roll now, I'm going to get my merchant, and I'm going to get another +1 in there. You can see the +1 and career rank 5 is 6. Okay, so I used a resource, and so the GM would have to go and deprecate the resource. So I didn't automate that. So I think I did enough. Anyways, so that's how that works. If you have any questions, just let me know. But I think this will add a lot to it, and hopefully we can get honor or intrigue in Fantasy Grounds, because then we could use this a lot. So thanks.